Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Streggy. And around the time that I had added Chris Leto as a director after I'd written up Die Delta Pi, when I first began writing several years back, he was selling his film a rough cut. And I ended up picking it up, and it's put out and distributed by Gator Blade Films, but his production company is Reaper Films, and here's what it looks like. Um, and here's some of the pictures from the back. So there you go. That's it was a limited release, I believe, and I just wanted to go back on about it and revisit it. It was a film from 2013, and I feel as if it had a hidden meaning behind it. How depressing and desperate some filmmakers can get on making films in the industry. And so we have Jack, who is a character, and he is a FOP director. He hasn't come up with a single idea when he was given time to do so. His wife is sick of his laziness and his sad, sappy routines of not making any money, as it's obviously her money fronting the projects. Jack's inside man is letting him go unless he can come up with something solid, something that will get back the money they put in to help him get the movie fame that he wants. So Jack, who is played by Mike Dufau, Jack makes some choices and starts filming a movie on his terms, his rules, and doesn't care if he gets people's people's consent to do so. And comes across two bums fighting and pays them $50 to fight to the death for some teeth. But Jack wants more. Jack comes across a random woman being abused in an alley and stands there filming away as her purse gets stolen. It's apparent the descent into madness as he starts talking to himself. Meanwhile, two men who are truckers who are shooting the shit in the bathroom. They swap fat fuck sex stories and shitting. One leaves, starts singing as Jack strangles him and films his death and the whole conversation. Jack goes back to his wife to get another chance and realizes someone else is there with his wife. But he'd been kicked out anyways. He meets her at a cafe and realizes she's fucking a cop. She reminds him because she's always been the money factor, she's entitled to the majority of the settlement if they ever get divorced. He shoots back that she's the one committing adultery. She tells him to watch his back, and she'll see him in court and then in hell. So Jack goes out to a carnival, takes out his camera, and follows people until he strangles a man talking on a phone, ties him up, and because he's cheating on his wife, videotapes making the man suffer. Jack pulls out a knife, asking what the little girl finds in him, and cuts into him on three. Jack's landlord stops by as he hasn't received the rent check in the middle of his going over what he's already taped. Apparently, he can't sleep in his office as he's bothering some other businesses and is required to pay $2,000 in compensation. Next, we see Jack has kidnapped a woman. She's naked except for her underwear. She wants him to let her go, and he won't. He threatens if she acts up, he'll twist her nipples and with some pliers. Jack just keeps repeating this for the movie. It isn't real. And as it appears, he had a chef's outfit on and made her skin and body into bacon as he needed to eat as well. Ellie Mae, you make some nice bacon, you Southern belle. Jack picked up another woman, topless and tied, tells her he needs an actress. Hands tied to a 2x4 board, takes a hammer and pounds near her hands and rambles about her fingernails, if she's a biter, and pulls her nails off one by one. She spits at him. Jack takes a box tire and chokes her to death. Next, we see a man watching a porno. As Jack steps in and sees the man is jacking off and getting more excited as Jack stands there. Jack shuffles in, calls him a sick bastard, and strangles him for not watching his movie. Tasteless, useless, lifeless, an artist. And Jack decided to show him what the art of death really is. Death by ... ejaculation. Jack runs into his wife and her fuck friend, and he wants to work things out. He tells her he doesn't care about the money. She wants a 70-30 cut and insults his directing projects. He ends up making a deal to just get more money for his film while calling her cop friend an asshole. Next, the girl talks to her lover, or talking to her lover, takes a shower, and Jack comes in and stabs her and then grabs his camera for the end of her death. We then see Jack try to negotiate for a barn and then hack the guy to pieces to get the property. He then spies an African American jogger, kidnaps her, and sets up his camera as he ties her arms to a tree, runs to a hardware store, and we assume he mutilates her. We then see and hear a woman walk to her car as she screams. As lo and behold, Jack has grabbed her. Jack hastily tied her up in this barn, and as she's screaming to be let go, more of a screamer, this one, of course, unwillingly, she is to be his next starring actress. He squeals with her. Jack promises to let her go if he helps, or if she helps him. He takes an electric saw to her hand, and then saws her other hand as blood drips down. Still, he tells her it's for the movie. It's not real. Another couple is in a car. She's giving a dude a blowjob at a drive-in. And of course, Jack kidnaps the girl and another. Suddenly, one wakes up. Jack warns her not to go in the sand, and he tells her he needs excellent execution. Naturally, emotions ask her to call him master. Jack tells her to turn on that tongue machine because he wants her to crunch and munch as she's crying. He eventually chokes her with the box tie. Next, we see him at a hearing with his wife. Things don't go well. He just signs the dotted line. They argue after he meets a blonde at a deserted gas station and almost grabs her inside his van. The ex-wife then shows up at his door and apologizes that she didn't believe in him as a director. And she comes in and notices a smell. He clocks her and, did you think I was going to tell it all? Nope. But this film was a statement. I believe it was a statement about the desperation a director can get, about how you can almost sell your soul to get a film made in this bloodthirsty film business, where it's survival of the fittest. Now, I enjoyed this film as well, though it was a tad slow on bringing it around to its point. I think as it is Leto's, it's not his first feature film. I think this this is a seasoned director. I thought it wasn't a bad film, though. I definitely think that it was the statement that I said that it was. I'm sure horror directors have at least thought that this was a way to get to the top at one point, and it helped Jack was so wacky and rambling as his downward spiral into his killing spree and his ultimate desperate goal. Would you go this far to achieve success? Um, I don't know if I would, but I certainly enjoyed watching this film. I thought it was entertaining. Um, so I would definitely, if I had a chance, seek the film out for myself. Hopefully, you enjoyed my description of this film. There are other actors and actresses that were in this film. So, um, if you have seen this film, let me know down in the comments that you have and what your thoughts were on the film in general. So, uh, thank you for listening. I love describing films of this nature to the public, and I just love watching films in general. So, thank you, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my thoughts on this film, and hopefully, you will find the film to your liking yourself. In any case, have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Appreciate the traffic and enjoy.